Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into a massive industry-wide contradiction that is currently tearing the modern auto repair market apart. Honestly, if you own a car, you've probably felt the sting of a recent repair bill and thought, how on earth did it get this expensive? But at the exact same time, dealerships are sounding the alarm, practically screaming that mechanics are quitting in droves. So why are both car owners and mechanics getting squeezed so hard right now? Well, we're going to examine the structural design choices and compensation models that mechanics argue are driving them out of the field entirely. We'll look at how the industry is relentlessly prioritizing continuous corporate revenue over employee retention and customer satisfaction. Seriously, get ready, because the way this industry currently operates behind the scenes is absolutely going to blow your mind. Okay, let's dive into this. $7,300. That is an actual real-world quote given to a customer for a routine front brake and rotor replacement on a 2018 Audi. And no, that doesn't even involve fancy carbon parts. We are talking just regular stainless steel rotors and brake pads. When a standard traditional maintenance job costs literally more than a decent used car did a decade ago, you just know something in the system is fundamentally broken. And that brings us to the core mystery of our explainer today. If customers are paying these astronomical, record-high prices for basic repairs, why is the CEO of Ford publicly complaining about having 6,000 empty service bays across the country? I mean, why are they claiming there's a chronic shortage of skilled labor? You would totally think that with thousands of dollars flowing in for a basic brake job, mechanics would be lining up around the block for these incredibly lucrative positions. But they aren't. They are quitting. Section 1. Following the money. To solve this mystery, we have to follow the money. We need to trace exactly where that $7,300 and all the other steep repair bills is actually going. And to do that, we have to look closely at how the technicians fixing your car are compensated. This right here is the heart of the issue, the flat rate pay structure. You see, mechanics aren't just clocking in and out for an hourly wage like most jobs. Let's say a mechanic needs to take the front axle out of a Mercedes. They look at a manual, and the book says that job takes exactly 6.8 hours. Now, if the mechanic is incredibly fast and does it in 3 hours, great, they get paid for 6.8. But here is the catch. If that car has rusted bolts, stripped threads, or completely unforeseen issues, and it takes 8 or 9 grueling hours to finish, the mechanic still only gets paid for 6.8 hours. Their extra labor is entirely free. And it gets worse, because modern vehicles are no longer just nuts and bolts. They are essentially supercomputers on wheels. Take a modern G-Wagon, for example. In the back alone, you might find 7 different computers and literally 3 pounds of spaghetti wiring controlling everything from the stereo to the self-leveling suspension. If there's an electrical short, a mechanic might spend hours painstakingly hunting through that wiring just to find the problem. But the manual? It might only pay them for 1 single hour of diagnostic time. They are racking their brains doing highly complex engineering work and going completely uncompensated for the vast majority of it. And this brilliantly illustrates the harsh reality of where your money actually goes. A veteran dealership technician, someone with over a decade of experience and tens of thousands of dollars invested in their own personal tools, actually sat down and did the math on their compensation. Out of the high hourly labor rate the customer was charged by the dealership, the highly skilled technician doing all the actual physical work took home just 19%. Yeah, 19. The other 81% went straight up to the top. So the harder the mechanic works, the more money the corporation makes off their back without ever bumping up that tiny slice of the pie. Section 2. The warranty work trap. Now, as if the flat rate system wasn't tough enough on customer pay jobs, it gets unbelievably worse when we look at warranty repairs. This is where we see auto manufacturers directly cutting their own costs by slashing the paychecks of their service technicians. Consider this direct comparison for a 3-liter eco-diesel engine swap. If you walk in off the street paying out of pocket for this repair, the manual says it's a 19 to 20-hour job. But if that exact same truck comes in under a manufacturer's warranty, the corporation slashes the allotted time down to just 9 hours. The mechanic still has to pull the entire cab off the truck, pull the engine out, put the new one in, and put the cab back on, but they are forced to do it for half the pay. They're literally subsidizing the manufacturer's defective product with their own lost wages. Section 3. The trade school illusion. So when mechanics rightfully complain about these impossible hours, management's solution often isn't to just pay them fairly. Instead, sources indicate they actually push mechanics to upsell unnecessary services to customers to compensate for those lost wages. And when veteran mechanics refuse to play this scammy game and walk out, management relies on fresh, young recruits. But look at the severe financial trap awaiting young people entering this trade today. They are often pushed into trade schools that charge $30,000 for basic knowledge you could arguably learn from a YouTube tutorial. Once they graduate, they face immense social pressure from predatory tool trucks to buy the absolute latest name brand gear, often going $20,000 to $25,000 into personal debt. And their reward for this huge financial investment? A starting dealership wage of just $19 to $21 an hour. I mean, it's no wonder new recruits are dropping like flies weeks into the job once they realize the math just doesn't work. Section 4. Overcomplicated disposable cars. We've talked a lot about the mechanic's plight, but let's connect this back directly to you, the consumer. Why are the repairs taking so long and costing so much in the first place? It really comes down to corporate engineering and design choices. Manufacturers are increasingly building overcomplicated vehicles that are deliberately hostile to affordable maintenance. First, they bury basic parts. You now have to pull an entire engine out just to replace a starter because it's hidden inside a transmission bell housing. Second, they lock the diagnostic software behind thousands of dollars worth of proprietary scanners. And third, they constantly rewire models year after year. Why do they prioritize this over simple maintenance and customer satisfaction? Because it captures a total monopoly on post-sale services. Securing this continuous repair revenue stream appeases shareholders, sure, but it forces independent mom-and-pop shops out of business because they just can't afford the absurd subscription fees to read a car's computer codes, which means you have no choice but to go back to the expensive dealer. Section 5. The Consumer Price Tag. This brings our investigation full circle. These corporate strategies aren't just emptying the pockets of the young mechanics. They are aggressively targeting the everyday driver. The complex designs, the software lockouts, and the heavy dealership overhead all culminate in a staggering financial burden for anyone who just needs their vehicle to get to work. $229 an hour. That is the steep labor rate charged to the customer at a standard Ford dealership today. And remember that 19% take-home figure from earlier? At this dealership, the absolute highest paid, most experienced master technician might only see $55 of that hourly rate. That leaves $174 an hour going straight to corporate and dealership management. And it doesn't stop there. Industry experts actually expect that customer door rate to skyrocket well past $300 an hour in the next few years. So, what is your takeaway from all of this? How do you protect yourself in this environment? Well, your absolute best defense against this broken, profit-obsessed system is the DIY defense. Look, you don't need to learn how to swap a diesel engine, but taking the time to learn basic maintenance, like changing your own oils, swapping cabin filters, or replacing your brake pads, can easily save you tens of thousands of dollars over the lifespan of your vehicle. Bypassing this entire system for the simple stuff is literally the most empowering financial move a car owner can make right now. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this incredibly powerful quote from one of the frustrated mechanics in our sources. People don't want to work? No, employers don't want to pay. The next time a major corporation complains about a skilled labor shortage, ask yourself, is there really a lack of people who love fixing cars out there? Or is there just a lack of companies willing to prioritize fair pay and customer care over their own profit margins? Really think about that next time you are handed a massive repair bill. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking the right questions.